All right, everybody, load the spaceships with the rocket fuel. It's time for another episode of This Week in Grip. This is Jedd Johnson. I'm joined by Alan Hynek. This is episode number 14, coming off the heels of yesterday's opening day ceremonies of the Towanda Little League, one of the biggest days of the year in Little Towanda, Pennsylvania, in Bradford County. I was blessed to speak before them this year again. I talked about my adventures in grip training, working up to the old school York's pinch, and the development of the phrase "misses are just warm-ups." And it was a good day, and I tied it back into baseball, and I think they had a good time. Then I did some nail bending, and my hands were feeling good afterwards. So there's lots to be happy about. Alan, how you been doing, buddy, and how's your training been?
Been doing real good. Decent week. Had a lot of fun. Actually just coming off a deload and kind of getting back at it, but things are looking good so far.
Cool, man. Have you begun your training in preparation for the South Jersey 4 competition?
I have, yeah. I actually started, I probably started that a little while back. I bet you, a few weeks back, I've been starting to work on some of those things. So, yeah, the excitement got the best of me, and I figure I better just jump right into it. So, plus it gives me some real specific goals in the meantime of things to work towards. So, yep.
Yeah, buddy,
looking
cool.
forward to that one.
Awesome. And hopefully everybody can hear everything today. I'm actually about a mile from my house down along the side of the road because the internet coverage was really bad today, probably the worst it's been all of this year. So if things sound weird, it's because I'm on speakerphone right now. And, how am I coming through, Alan? I didn't even ask before.
No, real good. Yeah, I don't have any problems hearing it at all. Oh, perfect.
Okay, well, don't be afraid to let me know if anything happens. Just a reminder, everybody, that go ahead and use the hashtag #ThisWeekInGrip. I went through this morning and I downloaded a whole bunch of still shots and videos that people had posted up, and I emailed them to myself, but I haven't been able to actually grab all those, and some of the stuff I wasn't able to look back and see who exactly everybody was. So if you put stuff up and you don't get mentioned this week, I'm sorry, but the internet just wasn't cooperating. But please be sure to use that hashtag #ThisWeekInGrip. I saw on Instagram we're up to almost 200 instances of that hashtag being used. So I'm sure as this show and the practice of developing grip strength continues to grow, I'm sure that number is going to go up. And just remember, speaking along those lines, the first rule of grip sport is you tell everyone about grip sport. So don't be afraid to spread the word. Actually, I don't know if you saw this video, Alan, but Jared Gogan just put up a pretty nice video, maybe 5 minutes long or so, about how he's developed his little grip community out in his neck of the woods in Portland, Oregon.
I did. I caught that. That was a good little video, and I didn't actually realize some of those things about Reddit. I've never personally gone on that site until right after I saw that video. So I didn't realize there were things for individual states or even locations. And I went on there, and yeah, there's kind of a sub forum for just, even in my hometown. So that's going to be a handy little resource. Yeah, I'm glad he did that. That was good. He's put together something real nice out his way, so he definitely has an idea of how to do it.
Yes, everybody needs to go to that video. What I will try to do, I've got a pen here. I'm going to try to write myself a note, and I will put a link to that video. So I really think that's a valuable resource. So I'm putting a little note here, and if you are not driving, because I know a lot of people are driving listening to this call from the feedback I've gotten, when you get a chance, at least go back to your house or whatever and click on this link and watch the video, and it can show you, it's just a few simple things that you can do in order to round up people using methods that you may not be using. One thing that, like what Alan just said, he gave a lot of credit to Reddit in order to be able to reach out to local people. There's also a website called Meetups. I believe, meetups.com, meetups.com, and you can set up groups on there as well, and you can find out, you can see like local groups in your area that you might be able to tap into, like maybe martial arts groups, climbing groups, stuff like that. So I've looked in it. There's like nothing on there for my town that I live in, but my town is not a Portland. So your town that you live in is probably bigger than mine now, and there's probably stuff for you to check out there. So I encourage you to do so. But that could be another resource. And I'm sure, man, there's more sites like that out there that we don't know about. There's probably a way to even leverage like dating sites and stuff like that for this stuff. Who knows? If there's been any other ways that listeners have successfully met up with other grip people in order to formulate a new grip training group, I mean, I welcome anybody to leave a comment on below the video and let us know what you've done. I mean, so far the thing that was most effective for me was I went ahead and developed thoracic outlet syndrome so that I could bug my therapist every single time I went about how awesome grip sport is until he finally came to my house and got interested in it himself. So I don't necessarily recommend everybody go and have an injury like that condition develop in order to do it. I'm sure there's more financially sound ways, more efficient ways to do it than that. So, share us what you have done in order to meet. Share with us what you've done in order to meet other grip people in your area, and we'd be interested in hearing about it. Speaking of comments, we actually got a comment last week on our This Week in Grip from the Capman himself, Sean Capusta, with a movie grip scene in it. Did you see that, Alan?
Oh, I did. He referenced. Oh, I didn't have a chance to follow up on that, but he referenced. What was it? Captain America. What was it? The Winter Soldier, or what was that one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that?
Do you remember the details, dude? Because I wasn't able to go back and grab it because of my internet issues.
Oh, let me see if I can find that here real quick.
Yeah, maybe you can go in there and pull it
Yeah, I'm okay.
While you look for that, I'll just say that Jared said he took an incredible 10 gigs of video footage in yesterday's grip together that he had. So make sure you look for that up on his YouTube channel, because he's going to be coming out with stuff. I saw that he shared a couple things already, and one of them, I don't know if you saw this, Alan, but they had a the beer can that's ribbed, and it's like a reinforced beer can, Sapporos.
Yeah.
They must have each drank one, or everybody that was old enough or liked to drink them. They had a whole mess of them, and then they crushed them, and they had them all lined up on like a railing or something like that. That was pretty cool. But look for the videos coming out from there. 10 gigabytes of video. That's several hours of video footage. So be looking out for that for sure.
His get-togethers must just last forever. That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Lots of feeding going on. Yeah, and they almost always include some level of beer too. So that sounds right up my alley. Those guys need to work on that blob and chug thing that we talked about last week too. That could be a neat little feat that they get going up there. Neat little
man. I wanted to do it yesterday if I ended up training, but the way things worked out yesterday, I didn't get a training session in. It was the first Saturday in a long time that I didn't do any training where I wasn't traveling, but we had to get some stuff done around the house after that speaking engagement I did. And I guess you could consider the bending to be a workout, but I mean, they were just 60 penny nails, and they were pretty easy for me to bend. So I guess it was probably more or less a deload day. So, but I wanted to try that blob chug, dude. I think I can do it. It's definitely the limiting factor is going to be my ability to tolerate all the beer speeding down my mouth, because usually I'd like to savor my beer, and I'm not like a beer connoisseur or anything, but I drink them down pretty quick when I want to, but I'm not in the habit of guzzling down like that.
I have that comment here.
Yeah.
It looks like the scene was actually in Captain America: Civil War. It says there was a scene when Rogers attempts to hold a crashed helicopter by the landing foot thumbless, while also holding a thick bar with his other hand thumbless. So I've got to see if I can try to find that. I don't know if I can try to find a clip of that video or not.
Right.
I've seen that movie, and I don't remember that coming up.
Yeah, I'm way behind on my Marvel movies. There's been a lot of them that have come out. I'm talking about like 10 years behind. I haven't even seen all the Spider-Mans. But
yeah.
It really takes a grip guy to relay a quick story about a movie, Grip Feat, in order to highlight that he was grabbing both implements thumbless.
Right.
Most to see that as he was grabbing things, and we look at that as thumbless. So
yep.
Was it your thumbless, or was it monkey grip thumbless? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Yep. No, I gotta try to track down that movie now and watch that, because I've seen that. I saw that in the theater, and I just don't recall. And that's too bad. I guess I thought it was better than that, but I didn't notice any feats of grip strength going on. So just one more thing for me to work on, I guess.
Where did you say you saw it at?
I saw it in the movie theater when that came out. And,
all right.
Yeah.
It sounded like you said theater a little bit different the first time. It sounded like you said it like Johnny Cash, theater.
Oh, that could be. I don't know. Maybe I did.
Hey, I don't care. I just thought it was cool. Like there's a lady in town that said it like that today too. So you just don't get to hear it that much until I turn on my Johnny Cash albums. So. So another thing, I'll tell you what. You try to search on YouTube and see if you can find that scene. Maybe it's already clipped out somewhere. And I'm gonna go back to something that we talked about several weeks ago, Alan. Remember that week, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, where we were talking about the Gracie Bell?
Yes.
And then I was trying to remember the dude's name that invented it and all that stuff.
Right. Yep.
So I can't believe I couldn't remember this name, because once I saw it, it was like I should have remembered that. But I went to Chris Rice, and I got the information, and I asked him to shoot me some details about the story, and I actually had some details wrong. So basically, the Gracie Bell was made by a guy named Weldon Stogsdill, and it sounds like a name out of like the Old West or something like that. But this guy actually was producing like an American version of the Vulcan gripper for a while, called the Vulcan Death Grip. But anyway, I asked Chris Rice for some details, and he says, here's the story as I remember it. So sit back, everybody, put your feet up. You know, if you're driving, don't do that. But, you know, if you're at home relaxing, listening to This Week in Grip, then go ahead and relax, because I got the details for you. I think it was 2008 or so, he says. I had something for sale, maybe a glute ham half-round pad I had made. It was too big to mail. I knew Weldon through the internet forums. He wanted that pad and was learning to work in a machine shop and weld, and wanted to know if it was all right with a trade for a big dumbbell. He said he was making it out of round stock, and that was fine with me. I was going climbing at Seneca, so we agreed to meet up and make the exchange there, and I would take him climbing as well. We met in the campground, and he pulled out what looked just like an inch dumbbell replica, and I was simply blown away. I had been climbing all that day and could break it off the ground, but couldn't fully lift it. He had weighed it before he brought it, and it was 146 pounds with a solid 2.375-inch handle. Later that evening, Andrew Derniat showed up and casually lifted it and held it with both hands. Weldon's daughter was very young and cute, and as could be. Oh, I'm sorry. Weldon's daughter was very young and cute as all could be, running all over. so I decided to name the dumbbell after her. It just seemed fitting somehow. Weldon said he had found the bells, the globes, at a scrapyard and had been told they were used to break up concrete that had hardened in the drums used to transport it. If my memory serves me correctly, he had 3 pair the same size as mine and one pair heavier that I think came out at 181 pounds maybe when welded up. I know Doc, Sean Dockery, had one of the other Gracies that he made, but don't know what happened to the others. Due probably to its use at Gripmas and Garage Night, it has become somewhat famous in the grip world and a challenge dumbbell for those of us unable to lift the inch replicas. And then that's the end of Chris's story, but I actually had the luck of breaking the Gracie bell at Gripmas 2015. I think I tried to clean it, didn't quite get it, and it came smashing back down to the ground, and one of the welds broke. So hopefully he's been able to get that fixed. I felt bad for breaking it, but that's the story. That's the story about the Gracie bells there, Alan.
No, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jared Goguen had sent me a message too, covering some of those things. So, yeah, that's a neat little history. I wondered where those came up and how come we'd never seen many of them. It seemed like there was just, well, his and one other one. What was it? Nick Rosendal's were the only 2 that I'd heard of. It sounds like there's 4 or 5, maybe a half dozen of them out there, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I forgot about the 181 pounder. There's also a few inch-like replicas out there that Zach Coulter made, and he basically, he's like a mathematician. Like, I remember one time at Nationals in like 2010 or something like that, he studied for finals or something the whole way out here. But he kind of like worked up the ratios that would be needed to make an inch dumbbell out of lead, and one of them is what Andrew Derniat has at his place, if I'm not mistaken. Or that might actually just be steel though. I'm not sure. But I think he made some out of lead, and he got it just slightly off, and it ended up being like in the 185 range or something like that. But my memory is so bad. I probably just told like 3 different stories all wrapped into one. So someone's going to have to straighten me out on that one too.
I remember seeing pictures of the Coulter bell, and at least the only one that I'm aware of, I thought that was like the 185 pounder or something like that, is it not? Or what was it? It was really heavy. But,
yeah.
But
really.
that looked to me along the same lines of the death grip bells, just made with maybe a different size handle and different size globes, basically, if you will, just larger, rounder bar stock, but same concept. So, yep.
Yeah, there were also, I think, some lead bells made. Man, see, when I think about this, I see dumbbells that Zach brought to one of the backyard bastard bashes that John Beatty had. Maybe like it was either 05, 06, or 07. I can't remember what 2 years I went out. And then I also remember some bells that looked like they were made out of coffee cans at the Strong Arm Tactics in January of 2004 when I went out to Minnesota. So I just can't remember all the details, man. My brain's getting foggy. I'm getting to be an old man now. But yeah.
Yeah, I've got the same thing going on.
Hey, did you happen to see the video that we haven't talked about Yuha in a while, but he uploaded a video, and I saw it come through my notifications yesterday when I was at that speaking engagement. Didn't end up going back to look at it, and then again my internet was all screwed up when I was trying to make the calls today, so I wasn't able to watch it. It was titled something like Iron Mind, Rolling Thunder, and Silver Bullet, and then it was like a city name. Did you happen to see what that was?
I did see that. I haven't had a chance to watch that video yet. I might be able to bring that up here in just a second too. I just found that that Captain America one we were talking about.
Oh yeah, well, let's hear about that. What did you find in Captain?
So I'll play it right now. But the scene is So that movie, the kind of the main villain it would have been Captain Rogers' friend that we had seen in the first movie. And for whatever reason, he seems to have, he's under control of someone else and has sort of gone rogue. And this scene in particular is where the friend Bucky, he gets into a helicopter, he's attempting to fly away, and Captain Rogers comes running out of the building, and he grabs a hold of the landing foot on the helicopter in what I would definitely call a monkey grip. He appears to be losing a grip on a bar, sort of on the platform, where he was holding it, what would have been like an overhand thumbed grip. And then because he starts to lose his grip, he actually flips it then underhand, so he supinates his hand and grabs it in what would be just a horrible position. But then the helicopter isn't able to fly away under his brute strength. So the helicopter pilot then, Bucky, turns and tries to kind of crash it into him to ease that grip, and then that's where the scene ends.
Wow, so that's awesome. He goes into the supination grip, putting his biceps tendon at risk, but he's able to keep the helicopter from flying away. Now, what happened? Now, is that from the comic book? Did Bucky turn heel on Captain America in the comic books, or was that just something in the movie, or what? Because I remember Bucky being like his sidekick at one point, but I don't remember him turning heel.
Yeah, there was something where it wasn't his intention. He had some involvement with that Hydra group, I believe is what it was. And they had him under, he has kind of that sort of bionic arm thing going on. I don't know at what stage it was that he got that. I can't remember, but he must have sustained some arm injury that caused him to get a robotic arm basically put on. But they almost put something in him where they could sort of, I don't know, control him remotely, if you will. I think they would say a certain thing, and it would kind of turn him into a different person almost.
Oh, it was almost like an MK Ultra or something like that, kind of mind control stuff.
Right. So his friend was indeed still there as the good person, but they were able to sort of flip the switch, and that's what we were kind of dealing with throughout the majority of the movie.
Wow.
And he kind of came around in the end, but not before he caused a lot of damage, I guess. Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't make me want to watch that movie. I never got into Captain America. I always thought he was kind of a dork, and he kind of just got tough with the super soldier serum. You know what I mean, and all that. So I don't know, for whatever reason, I was never drawn to that comic. I never really got into the Avengers and all that stuff. It was just like, I was mainly a Hulk and Spider-Man guy, to be honest. I had tons of Hulk and Spider-Man comics. I used to buy, there were like 3 Spider-Man comic book series going on at one time at one point in like the early 90s, like 90, 91, and I would buy every single one with my allowance money, as well as the Incredible Hulk comics. So, so I never got into those series, but it's interesting, dude. It's interesting. You never know when someone's going to turn on you, brother.
Yep.
Speaking of that, going off like what you were talking about with the grip positioning of Captain America, though, it reminds me it's kind of like a Hercules hold in a strongman contest. And I was wondering, did you see the thing that Clay Edgen put up about how he trains for a Hercules hold?
No, I don't really follow Clay Edgen. I hadn't seen much from him.
Yeah, it was really interesting. If anybody that's listening trains strongman and needs to train for Hercules hold, I can't remember exactly what he did. I wanted to review it. I put a note down about it, but I, again, couldn't watch the darn video. But basically, he's hanging weight from a loading pin, and then I don't know what structure it is that he's got it hanging off of. It might be like a yoke or something like that, or like a stone over bar device. But basically, the cable is just run over that yoke or bar, and then it's hung off of there, and then he has an assistant that kind of holds it to make sure it doesn't fall over or go too low or whatever. But it looked like it was pretty intense way to train the Hercules hold. I don't know if he just came up with that, so he wanted to demo it, or if he's training for a strongman contest in addition to the arm lifting championships that he's going to in May. I don't know, but it looked pretty cool. So I did grab a still of it, but and I'll work it into the video, but you definitely want to go and check out his Instagram to see that, because it could be something that would help people out with their training, because the Hercules hold is a tough one to train when you're preparing in a strongman meet.
See here. I found Juha's video.
Oh yeah. How'd that? What do you got there?
So this is a short little. It's about a 1 minute clip. I'm not sure who's actually filming it. We don't see Juha in the video that I've seen anyway. But it looks like they've got some little, almost more or less I'd call like a grip exhibition. It looks like where they have various implements out for people to try. And what we're looking at, it looks like they've got the flask set up. They have a full-size inch dumbbell by the looks of it. We're seeing a couple of people taking some attempts at it without a whole lot of luck. And it looks like Arto's there. They got the flask, a rolling thunder, and that's pretty much the video. We're just seeing some people kind of taking a few attempts, just a couple of guys more or less taking attempts at the inch dumbbell and getting stumped by it, and that's it. Just a brief little clip.
I see. Cool. Well, we haven't heard much from Juha. I hope he's doing all right. And you let us know how you're doing, Juha. We're thinking of you, buddy. What'd you see last week? I know there hasn't been a lot of activity going on, Alan. It seems like some people are recovering from contests or maybe gearing up for the next competition that they're going to. So there hasn't been a lot of feats put out, but maybe you saw some stuff that I didn't, bud.
No, the first one that comes to mind was Gil Goodman's Fat Man Blob Clean. That was nice. He's just been dominating the block weights lately, making them look a little too easy. Yeah, so good for him. I haven't been seeing a whole lot of block weight work, and I just love it when I see people doing the really tricky stuff. And I'm nowhere near a Fat Man level, but it's great seeing guys pulling that off. So nice form. Looked easy for him, like he'd done it over and over again. So.
Oh yeah, good speed on it. It was a very athletic pull. His hands look like they're like Andre the Giant hands on his body. Like they're literally like it looks like he could engulf somebody's face with those hands. They're so meaty. They're not just like long and needle-like. They're like meaty and thick and dense and leathery and weaponish. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He also smoked a really heavy tips tester lift too. It was like I want to say it was like 176, 178 range.
Yeah, I saw that. Let me bring that. See if I can bring that all back up here once. Yeah, I thought it was around 170. Oh boy, so many things going on at once here on the screen right now. It's hard to track everything down.
Yeah, it's tough managing those tabs sometimes.
Yeah, yep. And that was boy, I wonder if that one didn't get this week in grip tag. I'm not seeing that one showing up on here. He's normally really good about that. But yeah, no, that was a real impressive tips tester lift.
Yeah.
I could have swore I'd seen somebody else pulling on that recently too. Maybe he was I thought there'd been a couple of videos out there on that. Let me see if I can
I'm not sure.
Bring him
I
up.
know. I know he had those two videos.
179.4.
Yeah, that's big.
Yep.
That's big. I don't know what the record is on that, but that's a big lift. That's a big lift. I saw that like after our call last week, like during our call, I was checking in on the grip contest that was taking place down in North Carolina, and my old friend, the Monster Pitt, was competing there, and he put up some pictures and videos. One of them was Bob Sundin doing the hub lift. Pretty good number. I wasn't able to record what number he got, but and I think the other guy might have been Scott Johnson, and he's the guy. At one point, James Rodriguez recommended that we check him out on YouTube, but it was one of those cases where the comment got eaten by YouTube, and I wasn't able to find it anywhere. I wasn't able to reinstate it or whatever. So I think I'm pretty sure the dude's name was Scott that was competing with Bob in that contest, and I think it might have been that Scott Johnson that's supposed to be like the doctor of hub lifting or something like that. So apparently they put up some good numbers, and then right around the same time is when Facebook brought up the turn back the clock memories thing of the Monster Pit wrestling in an old Diesel Crew shirt. I don't know if you saw that come across, but I shared it, man. It was pretty cool. He really tied his his knee pads and the rest of his attire together well with the red that was on that shirt. So I wanted to share that. That brought back memories talking about wrestling with him.
Looks like Bob hit a 70-pound plus lift. The one posted on Instagram was about 68 pounds. So yeah.
Oh.
And that's really nice. That's clean, what I would call Iron Mine hub form too. That doesn't have the thumb crank around thing that we sometimes see. So yeah, that's a real nice one. And there was some other, this must be see if they show his name here. Scott, oh yeah. Yep. Looks like he came close on a 65-ish before. Yeah, something in the 65-pound range. I'm not able to see the exact weight that he hit. But right. James Rodriguez actually participated in that too. He had this was one that I was watching, a silver bullet hold. I don't see how long he had it, but it looked like it was actually a pretty decent hold. I'm not able to time. He doesn't show that, but yeah, good for him.
I don't think it's a video or anything from that, so I didn't see that, but that's cool.
Yeah, that's right on his Instagram channel. So,
oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, but that looked like a decent. I don't know. I wouldn't want to venture too short of a guess on it, but I'd have to say over 20 seconds anyway. I hope that isn't radically off, but
yeah,
it looked like a real good hold.
That's a good solid hold, no doubt.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think that was about the bulk of it from that. Did you see David Horn posted some results from that? I don't know if they were the whole results or not. Let me try to get back over that on Facebook once. But they were from that grip tour that he was putting on.
Yes.
The lead results. And
yes.
And let's see here. I'm trying to bring that up right. He posted a few things recently. His wife looks like she hit a pretty solid 2-hand pinch number. Where's the other? Takes a minute to bring it up. Oh yeah, this just shows let me try to read this post here. It says world records attained at yesterday's grip tour contest in Leeds. So the adjustable thick bar lift, one-handed male, 120K plus, was Steve Gardner. Looked like he hit 161.98K. Let's see here.
And what lift was that? Did you say one-hand nail?
Adjustable thick bar.
Oh, all right. I don't know what the heck I was hearing. All right, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you, buddy.
And that also got him the record in the Masters male 50-plus category. Same weight. Let's see here. There was junior female 10 and under. Looks like Lucy Horn hit 37.53K. Junior female 11 to 13 was oh boy, this is a tricky name. I would go with Erin Cummings. I hope that's correct. 26.93K. Another junior female, Millie Cummings, 54.98K. And then they had some one-hand lift and hold, but I'm not sure which event. I'm assuming it's still the adjustable. No, this couldn't be the adjustable.
No, that would be the one-hand. The one-hand lift handle is like about an inch, like 1 inch. Like 20 millimeters or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a V-shaped handle. It's just it's a specially made handle with the same dimensions across the board.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I have seen that one. Okay, yeah, yep. It looks like they were looking for a minimum of 5 seconds lifts. They had some assorted weights people could try. It looks like the male 120K plus class, guy named Brian Reynolds hit it for 11 seconds. Well, and that also got him good for just the 120K class. Male 105K was Adam Bushway, also for 11 seconds.
That dude is strong. Are you familiar with him?
No, I've heard the name, but I'm not. I don't know if I follow him or not on anything.
Yeah, you gotta connect with him, dude. He's very impressive. He does. He regularly does work over world records on many different implements, including like the moon top and things like that. Yeah, he posts along the Grip Strength group on Facebook as well. So I would friend him up if I were you. I don't think he's on Instagram, so like I don't think you'll find him there. But yeah, he's a pretty strong dude.
Well, yeah, and evidently he's not. As I was going down this list, I hit that 105K, and I just would have assumed that was the weight class that he's in, but it's not how it sounds. It looks like he also hit that same. These were 200 kilogram weights I was mentioning, and apparently this guy is an 83 kilogram competitor.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, he's not a real large guy by any means. So
no,
good for him.
It's one of he's a wiry guy. It's one of the guys that trains a lot with Jerome Bloom that we see a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that works with him a lot.
Apparently 11 seconds was the time that day because that's what everybody hit. Steve Gardner came in, same weight, 200K for 11 seconds. So
cool.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, and then David sent me a blurb with all of the results. I'll try to do screenshots there for the video so everybody can see. But I see they did some bar snapping as well. I see our friend Maya Shalchi ended up doing a 18 inches by 10 millimeter bar in 17 minutes. And many other familiar names from the Steel Slayer competition were on there. So that's cool. One name I didn't see was, I don't know if you saw any, Mark Snape. Are you familiar with that name, Alan? Mark Snape?
I'm familiar with that name, but that's about it.
He posts a lot of videos, and I thought he was going to this competition. I was looking forward to it to see what numbers he was able to put up. I was also hoping that Andy Bolton would go to this contest, but it doesn't look like he went. I don't see his name anywhere. Maybe it just didn't work out for those dudes, but Rob Blair, I see his name and a bunch of other names. And he also sent me a blurb on Elizabeth's pinch. She says she just recently pulled an 86.7 kilos two hands pinch, and her pinch has been going real well on a few pieces of pinch equipment. She got 70 kilos for 17 seconds in the recent British Grip Champs. So it is looking good for maybe an attack on 90 kilos in a comp later in the year. So that's like right at 200 pounds. So pretty cool. Lots of good stuff going on out there.
Oh yeah, and that 86.7K, that was a lockout lift too. So nice. That looked real easy.
Cool. Speaking of the bending, I saw that I know there were a couple FBBC certs that went down last week, like maybe on Sunday itself or Monday. One of them I know was William LePage, and I'd like to send him a welcome because he's now a member of the Grip Authority. So I can't wait to work with you more closely, William. But I guess he just certified on the Bastard bar through FBBC.
Oh, I'm trying to bring that up right now. I have it. Oh, yes. Yep. Certified on the Bastard. I see there was one other one. What else was there on here? Is that the first one of the? Yeah, that was the first one that I'm seeing on the website. Mm-hmm. And then one other one. I don't know if this was a cert or not, but it's at least shown as a bend. Brian McShane looks like he bent the big Duke of all bastards.
Wow, man, he's awesome. He's really come so far, man. I worked with him for several months last year, and man, he has just grown so much and really become a powerful bender. Wow. Awesome.
Okay.
What would you say? What would you point to from the last 7 days, Alan? What would you say was the feat of the week for you that you saw out in the world of grip strength and feats of strength?
Oh, in terms of grip strength, I would definitely go with the Fat Man Blob Clean of what I've seen. And I guess with regards of overall feats of strength, I got to point to James Fuller's inch dumbbell close grip bench press tricep thing he was doing there in the Strongman Archaeology group.
The little lockout thing that he was doing there.
Yeah, yep. Because that's going to be complicated just to wrestle into that position. So, yeah, you might as well
while you're doing that, you might as well do some Donnie Thompson body tempering while you're at it, because pretty much what you're doing when you roll that thing into place. But that looked like it was torture on the triceps, and I want to definitely give that a try, as long as I can get it into position without crushing my face if it drops out of my hands. But that's a great segue, because I also saw that James Fuller took an old school York deep dish plate, 45 pounds, and did basically a key pinch grip on it, on the hub, and there was no contact on the tines, or the spokes, if you will. Did you see that, Alan?
I did, yeah. Yep.
Dude, that just is freaky. It's freaky.
And I'd never, when I take I was actually, after seeing that video, I was looking at what my hand positioning is on a hub, and when I hub a plate, I do think I'm getting some contact, generally speaking, with my thumb on one of the spokes. Mm-hmm. And I'd never paid any attention to that, and I've got to try to next time I do that, I'm going to try to make a point to not get my fingers on it and see if I can actually still pull it off that way. So yeah, that's a good lift. I'd never, it's hard the way they position those. I think the plate I normally hub, I don't know if it has 3 or 4 on it. I haven't tried it on the old school York yet, but yeah, that's got to be exceptionally tough on that, especially with that crazy scoop they've got on those. Not a lot of material there. You almost need to get your finger in just to get some little extra real estate when you're trying to take that grab on it. So that's solid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Any other big feats you saw come across the wire last week, buddy?
The other one that jumped out at me was Dan Fleming hitting 105.5 pounds on the flask. That's a monstrous number.
I didn't see that, dude.
Oh yeah, that's just terrible. Yep, he's that's some solid one hand pinching. So,
oh yeah.
He shows up at SJ4 doing that, I don't think he's going to have any problems. not for me anyway.
Wow. Good job.
Yeah, I don't know too many people. I haven't seen many updates on barrel strength leaderboards. I got to make a point to make it over that way one of these days. But I don't know how many guys are hitting that kind of number of all weight classes.
Yeah,
hitting that in the one hand pinch. That's good stuff.
For sure. Just about 2 years ago I saw this was like an anniversary recently of the comp that Ches ran in New York, where John Stepien and I had like a little axle showdown, and it was the first time I ever pulled 400 in a contest, and I did it 400 and 408. And just a shout out to John Stepien. When we having our little get together, brother? We were supposed to be getting together here sometime soon. Let's do this, tough guy. Let me know when we're throwing down. Can't wait, my man. What else, Alan?
let's see here. Over on the grip board, only one thing came through this week. It looks like Martin Braun, he had posted, this was up for feet judging, but he had a Beef Builder Grandmaster, I think it was a 148-pound gripper, 20-millimeter block set close. He put that up, and that passed, so he's added to the list on that one now.
Good. Where are you at on your vote? I haven't even been online, dude.
Oh, I checked. I think last I looked, there was like 11 pass votes, no fail votes or anything like that, and that's about where it stands. So It's got the views, but it hasn't gotten the votes, unfortunately. So
yeah, weird.
Yeah, it seems like you watch it on those. It kind of goes in waves. It doesn't. I don't know. It almost just goes in cycles. There, it seems like things sit up for judging for quite a while for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they get very kind of fast.
Yeah, the way the rules are set up, as long as a week goes by and you've got like the right percentage of votes or whatever, then it'll get cleared. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we'll cool on that. The one thing I saw, I think it was Marco Bull put out the giant blob-like implement that he painted red. Did you see that?
Oh, I did. Yes, that is the prettiest red.
Yeah.
I really liked that. That was almost, and I know it's blasphemous, but you and I had talked about that ugly next gen that I came across, and that was just inspirational. I am still so tempted of cleaning that up and dressing it up, and I would have to find some color like what Marco did with his, because that was a really pretty color. Yep, that's going to make it. I think that's one that he had at one point stripped the paint off of to kind of try to get a better purchase on it, and now he's gone the other way. It's gotten too easy for him, if you can imagine saying that. So he had to pick that slick paint.
Crazy.
So,
yeah. Cool. Let's see, man. Oh, I thought I wanted to point this out. This is from like several weeks ago, and I know that Timmy did 102.5 pounds on the wrist wrench here in the last few days. But by any chance, Alan, did you see him almost destroy his phone or his camera or whatever a couple weeks ago when he tried to clean the block weight?
Oh, with that, yes, that was funny. I like those blooper reels. We don't get enough of those from a lot of people. Gil was the only other person I think that had shown one. Like, maybe we've seen some bloopers from you through the years, but you see a lot of people making it look easy, and you don't see the stuff that actually happens. So,
yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, except
go ahead.
Oh, where I live down in my basement, I've got such minimal room for pulling anything off. If I was to suddenly end up juggling a block weight, it would be a mess. It would slam into things and wreck crap. That would be my kind. It would look like the same thing what Tim Butler was dealing with. That's why he went after it so radically.
Well, what was great was he just about got it, I think, or it looked like he was going to get it, and then it popped out of his hand, and then the next thing you see is like sheer panic on his face because he can see that the block weight is headed right for his phone.
Yeah. No, that was that was funny. That's like a guy going to, he just pulls a frozen pizza out of the oven or something like that, and he just about drops it, kind of going after to save it, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think of like, I don't know if you saw. I don't know did you see the time where I went for like 270 pounds on the two-hand pinch and just about blacked out, and like drool was coming out of my mouth, and I was stumbling around and almost fell and got impaled by like a loading pin or something?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was way back when, dude. That was when I was at my like fattest stage. It was like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, when I stumbled across that's because that's a phenomenon where people have, they call them brownouts, where they're, doing this grip stuff. We've seen it from a few other people. I won't mention the names, but I was searching for that, and in your video in particular popped up on the grip board. When I was going through and look. Yeah, that makes me think that I'm not hitting it hard enough. If I'm not getting to the point where I'm, almost shutting down out of the deal, I gotta go after it a little harder.
Yeah, totally shutting down the central nervous system from making such a hard attempt. Yeah. I don't know if that's a necessary part of your training that you want to see every so often, Alan, to be honest with you, buddy.
Yeah, it's got to stay on some soft surfaces, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of things I don't think people need to do in their training, there was also something that I've been holding off on reporting this, not purposely, but like we just don't end up covering it. Josh Koenig put up a video several weeks ago, dude, maybe even a couple months ago, where he was like traversing the underside like of an old style cast iron bridge. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What is he? Is he on Instagram?
Yeah, I think it was on Instagram, and I think I've since deleted the video by accident, but I was like, what are you doing? He's like scaling this bridge on the underside. I have no idea how high it was, but it looked risky enough to me and high enough that I would certainly never try it. But yeah, it was freaky, man.
Oh wow! I wonder if this is his account. It's shown as a private account.
What does it say? What is the name?
It's Josh Koenig 94.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what his handle is on anybody. Don't know.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Huh. See a lot of weird feats like that out of guys too. I remember seeing a lot of Paul Neitzel's like slacklining videos and stuff.
Yeah, right.
A lot of interesting things. Well,
There was another. I have this video saved on my phone from weeks ago, and I don't know who it is now, but it's another one of those. It's another one of the ladies that does the climbing, like the competitive climbing and like Ninja Warrior style training, and it was really cool. She had like basically a rope tied to the ceiling in a loop, and then it was looped around a tire, an actual tire off a vehicle. And she was gripping onto the tire, and then she would take one hand off and grip higher, and then that would cause the tire to rotate a little bit. So she was basically, climbing around this tire, if you know what I mean. She was gripping her way around the tire, and then every time she shifted her hand, the tire would shift a little bit more. So she really didn't make any progress, but it looked like a really cool way to train for like both grip endurance, relative, strength, grip endurance with your body weight, and probably, rather functional for some of those climbing sports.
Yeah, right. What was this? What's this person's name?
I wish I could tell you, dude. It may have been Erica Cook, eCook6 or something like that.
Oh yeah, I follow her. She puts boy, she's quite an athlete.
Yeah, if it's not her, it's one of the other ones. There's a handful of climber ladies that I've followed just to see like some of the stuff they put up, but not many of them do a lot of the training stuff really that I've seen. Not in the stuff that they do, I don't know how hard it is because I don't do that stuff. You know what I mean? So like they make it look so easy that it's probably like closing a number 2 gripper, but most people can't do that. You know what I mean? It looks easy when we put a video up, but most people can't do it. I'm sure it's probably the same general idea, but it looked really cool. Pretty challenging too. I'm sure it would be pretty tough to do it. I wish I had like an attachment point. I guess I do actually. I have a crossbar thing in my gym that I might be able to use to try something out like that. That's cool. I'm gonna have to give that a try.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And with that, dude, I'm totally bled dry. It was like a vampire swept in, and just totally got everything down to the last drop out of me, bro. So I got nothing else to cover here.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It was not a whole lot of stuff happened this week. I think we'll probably have a little more to talk about next week. We see some of Jared Gogan's stuff get posted from his get together, and hopefully that's it. But yeah, yep. Kind of slow.
Cool. Sure. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that and any other stuff that people do. So make sure to use that hashtag This Week in Grip, guys, for sure.
Yep. Well, all right. That was episode number 14 of This Week in Grip. Thanks for listening, everybody. Great seeing some more people giving us some ideas for some of these movie videos, grips of feet to watch. Looking forward to some more ideas. Some of these things are just hilarious looking at, like that Captain Rogers one. That was really something. So yeah, keep them coming. Guys, remember to make sure you like the video, subscribe to Jedd's channel, share the video, and we'll be back next week with some more. We'll see you then.